Zimbabwe's organic agriculture space continues to gain traction, with more farmers seeking alternatives that are both effective and environmentally conscious. Next into the nest is a young entrepreneur stepping into that space, building a solution for organic inputs from an unexpected source.
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Good, how are you doing?
Fine, and you?
Good, good. If you can introduce yourself and then tell us about your business.
All right. Good afternoon, Eagles. My name is Calton Nemutenzi from Agrobit Investments. I'm a student at the National University of Science and Technology, and we are in the agriculture business of organic farming. Now, what you have in front of you is Agrobit. Now, Agrobit is an organic fertilizer that is specifically manufactured from rabbit urine. With this fertilizer, it is meant to target the organic farmers that are currently growing in Zimbabwe lately. And our niche is that those organic farmers tend to need an organic fertilizer that is so effective such that it is also usable as a pesticide and as a fertilizer. This is why this fertilizer is so unique. It is a dual fertilizer. Now, with that fertilizer, when we give these farmers, they tend to also use it as a foliar fertilizer and also as a drenching fertilizer, which means it is applicable in two uses, where you can actually spray it and then you can actually drench it. We've been doing this for the past 1 year and 6 months, and we've had good outcome from our customers. Now, due to the Eagles Nest training programs, we've realized that we had a good product, but we had the wrong business model. What you have in front of you are tests that we've done at the National University of Science and Technology, which prove our fertilizer is of good quality, and we're on our way to be getting a certificate from the Ministry of Agriculture. So the challenges we've been facing is that, like I mentioned, I'm a student, and at the same time, I'm supposed to run a business. So I only have around 5 months to push good sales, and then the rest of the months I'm at school, which means that I've been focusing on the wrong business model. Now, what we've decided to do is that we're happy to announce that in July, we're changing our business model, where this 5 litre, which we're actually selling at a $5 price, we're going to be focusing on the pesticides, where we can actually make 5 units of a litre of the product that you have and sell it at actually $3. Then what we're now going to be doing is, because getting that rabbit urine is very difficult, but then now what we're going to be doing is that instead of selling the fertilizer as rabbit urine, we are going to be focusing on outsourcing our rabbit droppings. Now, these rabbit droppings is to come up with a granulated fertilizer, which will be easier for farmers to use, and it will be infused with the rabbit urine that you actually have. Why is that important? Because since we're looking into export, we have Uganda, we have South Africa. These are areas where we have much market of organic farmers, so it means we need to push volumes. How are we going to be doing that? By sourcing the rabbit droppings from these farmers, at least at 200 kgs a week, we'll be able to do a production of at least 1 ton in terms of units every month, which then makes sense for the business that we're actually doing, and then it will actually give good profit. Because we're going to be focusing on 5 kgs, 10 kgs, and only 25 kgs, which the 25 kgs will be sold at $20, and then the 10 kgs will be sold at $12, and the 5 kgs at $5, which gives us a multiple product line than just focusing on this fertilizer. This is a realization that we've had by attending the Eagles Nest programs. Hence, also, it becomes easier for us because I'm going to be now having more workers that focus on getting these droppings, and then we outsource also the grinding of and processing of this fertilizer. All we have to do is package and move it into the market. That makes it easier for our business model and be able to actually get more profit. Thank you.
A fertilizer and pesticide derived from rabbit waste. That's the entrepreneur's offering. His approach brings together function and flexibility, delivering more than one use in a single product. Roelof is first with the questions.
Thank you. I was reading on the back of the label here, concentrated urine. Would you want to just explain that?
Okay, so what happens is, like I mentioned, this is fertilizer made from rabbit urine. But now we process it from being an ordinary fertilizer to concentrating it so that it is usable. If you read on the labels behind, it says that the applicable use of this fertilizer is at a ratio of 1:20, meaning 1 liter of this concentrated fertilizer dilutes 20 liters of water so that you may actually apply it. So if you use it as a 5 liter just like that, it is going to burn your crops. Hence, also we have the proof on the test that we did because it has a pH of 8.9. That's why it is very applicable, because only 5 liters can dilute 100 liters of water. Meaning if you're an organic farmer doing hydroponics, and also if you're dealing with a small land like greenhouse farming, this is the fertilizer that you'd want to use.
Have you done any microbial analysis? I asked that because you said it can be used as a foliar, which means it gets into contact with the edible part of some of the crops.
Yes, on the leaves.
Okay, I'm asking for peas, for example.
Okay.
The leaves are very close to the pods.
Okay.
So it means the fertilizer would go into contact with the edible part of the crop.
Yes.
Which is a high risk. So have you done any microbial analysis?
Okay, so I guess in that aspect, maybe that's the analysis that we might get from the Ministry of Agriculture here in Harare, where they will be telling us if our fertilizer is not usable for certain areas on a plant. But what I would be able to tell you with what we have right now is, because when we say it's a dual fertilizer, it means it is also applicable as a pesticide, which means you also spray on those plants. Take for example, Kovo, especially for our farmers here in Gweru, where we're actually based, and also for the schools that we actually provide this fertilizer. For example, Sisu John Rose Primary School. When they use it and spray it on their Kovo, this is so strong to the extent that the aphids that are there, or the red spider mites, are actually repelled after a period of 4 days, compared to Roga, the chemical pesticide, which takes 2 weeks.
Just to be clear, I'm not discouraging it.
Okay.
I'm just saying, as part of your research,
Okay,
you need to also do a microbial analysis.
All right, thank you.
From your response, you've given me another question.
Okay.
You need to then, if you're going to register this as a plant protection product, it's a different registration process.
Yes.
Then you also present it differently as a plant protection product than you are presenting it now as a fertilizer.
Okay.
For farmers, multi-purpose products can reduce costs and deliver more value from a single product. But for the producer, that complexity can become a challenge of its own, and it seems he may be hopping into tricky territory.
Why rabbits specifically?
That was my question too.
Like that.
Why rabbits?
All right, so with rabbits, it's the first aspect of the nutritional quality of their waste, which has been supported with the tests that we have, because that's directly from the rabbit urine. So adding on to that, with business, you try and look for a niche which you can actually sustain. I could have taken cow urine, I could have taken goat urine, but think about it. The rabbit industry is a very growing industry here in Zimbabwe. And the cages currently are designed in such a way they can actually capture urine. Right now, we were working with 30 rabbits, and we could actually collect 20 liters a week of raw rabbit urine. So the reason why we choose rabbits is because they're easier to sustain, maintain, and even the feeding costs are very easy, while we capture a very good nutrient that we can actually turn into a product.
20 liters from how many rabbits?
From around 30 rabbits.
And earlier you said you need 200 kgs of the rabbit droppings. So the first thing that came to mind is, how many rabbits is that to get 200 kgs a month? All right.
Take, for example, this hay here. It's what rabbits eat and what farmers also put into those, poultry farmers put into those cages. So the 200 kgs is it's a mixture of those droppings and that grass at the same time, which is the waste product after they clean their cages. So it's usually those piles of waste that you see in rabbitry areas. That's what we're going to be collecting.
Well, I guess that's to my point of, how easy will it be for you to get that throughput of supply? Do you have rabbit farmers that you've contracted already? If so, how much are they already supplying you? And yes, you're saying rabbit farming is growing.
Yes.
But I'm just trying to understand from where you are now to get to your target. What does that supply look like?
We're looking into a situation where we can get 50 kgs of rabbit waste for as little as $5 from the farmers. So it's a situation where
You've already contracted the farmers. How many farmers do you have?
So far we have 10 farmers which we use to supply the fertilizer that we had. So they actually also keep rabbits.
And how many rabbits do they have? The 10 farmers.
The 10 farmers. Okay, so the most rabbits that one of the farmers has, we didn't really keep record of that, but then the most that he had was actually 100 rabbits. That is a farmer there in Gweru.
In export markets, consistency is everything. And without the capacity to meet demand at scale, even promising products struggle to compete. With 30 rabbits for 20 litres in 1 week, the judges are beginning to question the sustainability of the model. Crystal is ready to dig deeper into the numbers.
Are you selling already?
Yes, so already what we're selling is this fertilizer. We haven't started selling
one bottle,
the new one, yes.
How much are you selling?
So we're selling this fertilizer for $5, yes. And then
how many have you sold? How much
many
do you
we've sold?
sell on a monthly basis?
Okay, so last year we managed to sell 150 units in a space of 4 months.
Okay.
And that gave us $750. But the profit that we managed to get was 300. And then it turned out to be a loss because we reinvested into the buying new cages for those rabbits. But then what kept our business afloat is because we're in the rabbit industry. So we then sold the kids, which got us a profit of $200. The problem is that we have stocked, I think right now we have 400 liters that is stocked currently, which needs to be sold. So that's why this business exactly is a problem, because we deal with a situation where maybe Sisu John Rhodes wants 20 units. That's when we then pack and then send to them. So if we are not having customers oftenly, that means we don't have anything to sell. And in most cases, farmers buy 5 units, sometimes even 2 units, because we're doing a door-to-door business.
The entrepreneur might have hopped himself into a corner. According to him, the business is beginning to feel more like a problem than a solution. And in the nest, that's a difficult position to recover from. Now, he'll need to pull a rabbit out of the hat to turn this panel around.
So unfortunately for me today, it's going to be a no.
Okay.
But I like how much you know about your business. I like how much you are able to explain your product and how it works. It sounds to me like you have a really solid product, but I would like to see you get to the point where you are making consistent sales. You've identified a market. To have a business, essentially, you have to be selling to start, So if you want us to help you grow your business, you have to have a business first.
Okay.
So I want you to get to the point where you are consistently selling, you have a consistent market, and what your goal is to scale. And then that's something that I think this program can help you with. But right now, my feeling is a no, but I like your business. I like the way you present yourself. I like the way you present your innovation, and I wish you all the best.
All right, thank you very much.
I really like this idea. In farming, I've tried several different things, whether it be fly carcasses as cocoa peat or rabbit urine. Sometimes you don't need to look further than nature itself for the solutions.
Yeah.
And I believe that you're onto something here that can be very beneficial in terms of recycling another product and turning it into something good, soil rejuvenation, but also the multifaceted aspect of it where it can be a fertilizer and crop protection. So I'd like to know a little bit more around, does it really work against red spider mite? Does it really work against aphids? If so, how do you know that, and can you quantify it?
Okay.
So kind of the quantification process is going to be key in this. I need to see some results from trials, or at least the setup of how you're going to be running trials. And then I'd like to have a little bit more knowledge about the capturing of the urine. How many rabbits is it going to take to make this? I understand with the waste that you're collecting from the cages, there's zero loss because 500 kgs turns into 500 kgs. Is that true, or are you losing a little bit in terms of the production?
With 10 kgs, if you grind it, you get around actually 8.5 kgs, because there is a 15% loss. It's not every time when you're going to get 100%, 50 kgs into another 50 kgs.
And the same for the urine. So, you'll get a yes from me because I like the full circle idea here. I like the natural aspect of it. So I'd like to give you a chance and see you hopefully in the next round, but that depends on my colleagues.
All right, thank you.
When you were asked the question by Clarence,
Okay.
you were not sure in your response about testing and if you had the data.
All right.
But for me, I agree with my colleagues. It's a great idea. It's a great concept. But I feel like you've probably now shifted your model a bit too soon because now there's a lot of unknowns. You're pitching to us something that you are still to start, and the variabilities around your throughput, your supply. So I think we have a great concept. We need to build it into a business model with some projections, some numbers, some more thought into what you need to sustain it. The worst thing would be to launch a product today and then 3 months later run out of stock.
Yeah.
You know, I also feel like on the initial product, there's a marketing challenge. So you've been quick to pivot, but have you really diagnosed the problem? So I think you also need to spend a bit more time now that you've developed the technical part of the business. It's now really developing your go-to-market strategy.
Okay.
You know, who are my target customers and how am I going to get this product there? It can be exhausting as an entrepreneur because you've put in so much effort into developing the product, but now the hard work starts to actually sell the product.
Yes.
So don't be too quick to pivot your idea because you're onto something good here. So for me today, it's a no, but I would want to see you next year or at the next round of the AgriChallenge to see how you've developed this concept. Yeah.
My answer is very biased, and I apologize for that. I've been a food safety auditor for 18 years. So to put urine on food products, whether as a fertilizer or as a plant protection product, you need a whole lot of tests. It's not impossible, it's doable. And your story is interesting. You've done some work, but I just don't have enough data or enough tests to look at to say yes to this. So it's going to be a no for me.
Thank you. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Calton.
It's an unfortunate end to the entrepreneur's journey in the nest. The judges saw promise in the idea, but felt it wasn't yet ready for the demands of export markets. He leaves with guidance, hard lessons, and the opportunity to refine the model before taking another leap.
I think we should also maybe advise that he shouldn't be spraying this on Kovo and having people eat it after 4 days.
I mean, I think conceptually it's not that big a deal that it's urine, but like you're saying, regulatory-wise, it's going to be a hurdle for him.
But I'm sure Zimbabwe is not the only place where it's being done.
No,
this is not an innovation.
This is actually, there's a lot of this.
So I'm sure this is being used.
This is being used in, I know Ukraine develops a lot of this. But I'm just saying, like I said, my decision is very biased because I'm a food safety
Because he didn't
auditor.
come with the data. I guess
yeah, exactly. I didn't get any, so sorry for
but
him.
Rudolph liked him.
I like
No,
it.
I mean, I think he's a natural entrepreneur. Like
Yeah.
he has that aspect that we're getting from a lot of the students
Yeah.
of really being able to sell, your business.
The Eagle's Nest Agri Challenge, proudly brought to you by Zimtrade and the Netherlands Embassy.